College probably isn't right for you. It wasn't right for me in a lot of ways. My reasons for joining college were very similar to the rest of the millennial generation. I grew up with parents that were very supportive, and they really pushed me to understand that after high school and getting some high ACT or SAT scores, the next segment of life to become successful requires going to college. There were a couple problems. Firstly, I didn't know what I wanted to major in college. Secondly, I didn't understand why I would spend $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 getting an education that I wasn't sure about. I had no idea what direction I wanted to take my life. I did know I wanted to better the world, but that's like the majority of us millennials. You know, we want to better the world, but how do you conquer Mount Everest when you can't really do that in a year, right? You have to look decades out. And so where it started for me was learning the importance of goal setting. Goal setting is breaking down the necessities and what you need to be doing on a daily basis, on a weekly, monthly basis, and how that takes you then to that, 10 years, 15 years down the road, you succeeding in whatever you journeyed out to do. But for today, we're gonna break it down and only look ahead 10 years. So step number one, when evaluating and creating your own goal assessment, is to take anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, if not longer, and just brainstorm, turn off all the technology and just sit there. I like to even close my eyes at times, it might sound a little funny, and envision where you want to be and what your life looks like in 10 years. Again, because we're going to go off the 10-year model. And so to start, you need to figure out what is that lifestyle you want to be living in 10 years. What does it look like? What does it feel like? How do you spend money? How do you make money? What do you care about? And so I would encourage you then to break it down for these 10-year goals that you're looking at in your own life. So for me, being 23 years old right now, when I'm looking ahead, I'm trying to put myself in the context as much as possible. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll be 33 years old. Where do I want to be living? What type of job do I want to be, working in? What type of income, and everything in between. So the big 4 core factors to evaluate, firstly being health and fitness. So maybe your goal might be something along the lines of in 10 years, having a certain body fat percentage or competing in a national bodybuilding competition, whatever that might be. Secondly would be education, not just what kind of degrees do you want to have by this time, but what is your own mindset in regards to how much you're learning and consuming each and every day. Outside of school, maybe you want to learn coding. And that means in 10 years from now, you want to be spending 2 hours a day on lynda.com learning how you can code in Ruby, Rails, or C+, whatever it might be. Thirdly is relationships. And these are relationships not only with family, maybe your loved one, boyfriend, girlfriend, to the relationships maybe on your team, if you have a business or a nonprofit. And then fourthly is your business. And so if it applies to you, what are your business goals? Where do you want to be? What does it look like 10 years out from now? Are you making $100,000 a month, or are 95% of your sales coming from passive income streams online, like Amazon or real estate? Break those down, take 10 to 15 minutes, highly encourage you. It'll make the rest of your goal setting a hell of a lot easier. And I want to encourage you to not only do this, but understand that this is the most challenging aspect of defining your goals, this first step. So step number 2, you've already taken the time, you brainstormed what your life looks like according to the 4 criteria we just talked about. So step 2 is the actual structure of your goal setting sheet. So right here across the top, I like to put in big letters, who I'm becoming. How you headline your article sets the tone for the rest of it. Who I'm becoming. And so then from there, I like to do under it, the first passage would be in 1 week. And then I leave 3 to 4 spaces under it so that there's room to come back through it on step 3 and 4 to actually add the bullets. But right now we're only adding in 1 week, leave 3 to 4 lines, then write in 1 month, leave 3 to 4 lines in 1 year, and then 5 years, 10 years. And so each time you're leaving 3 to 4 spaces for bullet points that we'll come back in and put in. All right, so step number 3, we're almost done. I actually have my current goals right here in front of me. And so the next step now is that you have a structure in place for your page, right? So you'll have in 1 week, in 1 month, 5 years, 10 years. And so the first step and the whole idea behind reverse engineering is creating your lifestyle, but defining it first so that you know exactly what your work and your daily progress is all going towards. So for instance, again, you're starting in the 10-year bullet points. So you either have room for like 3 or 4 bullet points. And for mine, I limit it to just 3 because it is just less to think about, and it's a little easier for me to focus on the exact content of each. So for instance, you want to make sure that they're all separate categories in 10 years. earn 50 million in sales through Amazon FBA and real estate. The other one, grow Uptown Creations community to 195 different countries. And then the last one was help 100,000 people's dreams come true. That could be definitely a little more specific, but I give you those as ideas. And again, these are 10 years out, so it's difficult to have exact, understanding. And so then the beauty is from here, it only gets easier. So once we have the 10 years defined, then you go on to the 5 years. And so then ask yourself, you're looking at your 5 years, and your information will be directly in line to what you had said for the 10-year. So, the goal I had just explained with you guys was grow Uptown Creation community to 195 different countries around the world. So now for the 5-year goal, I'm asking myself, what would I need to do in the next 5 years to set me up to successfully have Uptown Creation, our team, have a presence in 195 different countries? And so a 5-year goal then is grow Uptown Creation's online community to 1 million plus people globally. And so the way we see that is that goal is in line. If we can achieve that, then we're set up to successfully achieve our 10-year goal. So after 5 years, then 1 year. What do I need to do in a year to set me up for that 5-year goal? And you continue to do that for 1 month, 1 week. All right, so step number 4. Now that you've written them all out, the next step is to read through, review all your goals in line, and ask yourself, do they make sense? So once you've done that, a lot of times I'll make small little edits, change a word around or not. Once you've reviewed it, print 2 copies out. And so what you'll do with these copies, 1 copy, leave at home. And so you'll take it home with you. For me personally, I leave it on my dresser where I keep my watch and I floss my teeth. So it's my goals. And every time I'm flossing my teeth in the morning or at night, I am reading my goals. So it's kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And I forget what entrepreneur utilized that, but that was one of the first things I learned about entrepreneurship. And it's like, how do you automate and make your life more efficient? So yeah, flossing teeth. And then the second copy, I like to keep at the office or in my leather pad folio that I carry with me all the time. And so the whole idea of having it in the 2 or 3 most primary places you spend the most time is that you can constantly be remembered. And so you want to build these into your morning routines. And it's proven that looking and reviewing your goals twice daily increases the likelihood of success immensely. So step number 5, last one. It's very easy, and I wanna say that it's optional. But again, to increase the likelihood of you performing in line with your goals, because again, a lot of times your goals are they're areas that need improvement in your life, right? And so they're difficult to talk about, and it might be embarrassing for some. I remember when I first started writing goals, I didn't want anyone to see them because I was too nervous that people would judge me and anything like that. But there's a lot of studies, science backing in the last few years. Social commitment can also vastly improve the likelihood of succeeding. So I have a good friend who's also religious about writing goals, self-development. And so something he does is every year when he updates his goals, he does it once a year, that once he gets his final list, his plan looks a little different than mine, then he'll share it with, I don't know, between 3 and 5 of his closest buddies. And so it's kind of like an accountability partner. And so on the flip side is you could share it online on social media. And that is one scary thing. And to tell you the truth, I don't have the nerve yet to do that, but to do it because all the science backs towards if you go out and say, to 90% of the people you know in the world, or at least that know you, if you're posting your goals online, you've just made a commitment to, 3,000 friends on Facebook or however many you have. And so you feel a deeper meaning in regards to you making sure that your actions align. The Uptown Creation team and I would highly encourage you and would love for you to join the Uptown journey. And that starts by subscribing to our YouTube page, commenting below on any of the videos, and letting us know topics that you want us to talk about, video ideas, areas that you might have questions. Questions would be huge because right now we're trying to create all the content all for you. And it's how can we add the most value for you? So don't be shy. So please subscribe, comment below, and share our videos. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, and join the team. Thank you. Till next week.